Hi and welcome back. In the previous video, I talked about how product managers can utilize AI to become more efficient and have control of their products and the projects what they maintain. We talked about four stages in identifying the ways in which you can use AI as a product manager: data driven decision making, user experience, efficiency, trends, and feedback collection and utilizing it back. For every product manager, these are the five stages. Now, today I wanted to go a little bit more detail into understanding how you have to structure your data driven decision making. Any YouTube video you see, any article you read, any book you read, everybody talks about how you have to have control of the information, what you need to collect, and how you have to utilize it according to your experience. However, I've broken this into a more simpler way to look at things. The first aspect is looking at the five stages of deciding which data you need to collect and how you need to utilize it. These five phases are called planning, developing, testing your hypothesis, launching, and continuously optimizing what you have done. AI is very helpful, but it also is overwhelming. We keep getting distracted with so many tools coming. I mean, it happens to me too. When I try to do my YouTube videos, I get distracted with new technologies which are coming, new apps which are coming, which will help me record much better. But over a period of time, I understood that sticking to one way to complete a project is much more less stressful than looking continuously at different areas and getting things done. So today, let's look at these five phases, but also let's look at what these five phases translate to, which they translate into 8 steps. First is defining your objectives. How clearly you want to articulate what you want. That's the most important step, and everybody emphasizes on this. I will also walk you through an example and give you the probable outcomes of each of these stages so that it makes more sense. The first is, as I mentioned, define your objectives. What are you trying to achieve by this exercise of collecting data and getting the required outcome? That should be very, very clear. The second one is, how are you going to create the content so that you can capture the data what you want? It's not about the backend always. So for example, if you are looking at how many times people come and just visit my website and go away, your backend is capturing how many people are coming to your website and going away. But what is it you want to answer with that question? Yes, I know 100 people are coming to my website and spending less than 10 seconds and closing the site. I got the data. But what is it I need to do outside of that? So for that, you need to have a hook where people spend more time on your website and then get the information what you want so that you can better it up. So that's where content creation plays a very important role. Identify your audience. Whom are you targeting? Whom are you selling the product to? And what is the kind of products you're looking for? It doesn't mean that target audience is not the only one. For example, if you're selling, let's say, a physics textbook, right? Usually your target audience are up to 30 years, because that's where, even people who do PhD will usually complete by 30, 35. But it does not mean that a person at 50 years is not coming and buying your book. So it can be a possible target audience too, because these days there are a lot more learning courses available where people can study at any point of time. So identify your target, but focus on it, and others are a bonus for us. The next one is, how are you going to research and incorporate what you require into your data mining or the data capture, what you're looking for? What are your primary sources? What are your secondary sources? How are you getting all your data from? The next one is identifying the data source. from where I'm going to bring. Is it going to be internal data or external data or a combination of that? Internal data is all your servers and all the KPIs what you manage. But many a times it helps if you can bring the external data to map and help you along with your internal data. The next one is developing the tools. Now, when I say developing the tools, identifying the right tools for you to go capture the data, mine the data, and give you the required outcome what you require. So this falls under developing your tools. And what is your budget? That's the most important thing. How much you're willing to spend on this exercise. Predominantly, all products spend a ton of money because they want to understand the user behavior and design the products much better each and every time. So, how much budget you want to allocate and how many resources you want to allocate. And last but not the least is ensuring you have the required permissions from everybody, which is nothing but the privacy policy, right? Please ensure that that is taken care so that people are aware that what data is being collected, and later you don't have any legal troubles around that. Now, here are some of the tools for you to get started in terms of all the 8 phases what I mentioned about. For feedbacks, you can use SurveyMonkey, Typeform, whatever other tools available. For web and social media, the best is Google Analytics, or if you are extending it, Hootsuite also gives you a lot more power into capturing. Yeah, Hootsuite might be a little expensive for early stage startups, but if you are getting into the next phase of your startup journey, I think Hootsuite does a lot of gives you a lot of answers. Even Google Analytics gives you the same. How do you do your competition analysis for the products what you do? If you're selling on, if they are physical products which you are selling on online e-commerce portals, you have people who do that. There are agents who actually manage all your products across all the online e-commerce platform sales. But if you want to do it on your own, you have something called SEMrush and SimilarWeb. Let me tell you, SEMrush is a little bit on the higher side in terms of pricing. So again, if you're an early stage startup, you might want to look at alternatives, or if you can afford it, please go ahead and invest in it. For data mining, Tableau or Power BI, I have always felt comfortable with Power BI, but if you're comfortable with Tableau or any other tool, please go ahead and use it. The natural language processing tools, you can use Monkey-Learn or Lexitics. It's up to you which one you want to use. For the predictive analytics, you can use IBM's SPSS or RapidMiner. Both these tools help you, give you a trend and analysis of what you're doing and how you're doing and what's the forecast it can do. But again, it depends on what you're looking for specifically, and that's when you make the decision. The next one is the automated research. If you want to set your research in the automation mode, you can use Statista. Yes, Statista can become expensive to buy the reports, but if you're very clear which industry you're playing in, you can just buy one off the report, and you can start utilizing that as a baseline. And when you can afford to subscribe for it, you can subscribe with those guys. AI-powered CRM, HubSpot. Even I use HubSpot, but as a solopreneur, there are a lot of other tools which I can use. I will talk about it later. But if you are a small, medium enterprise which is going big, HubSpot does provide a suite of applications which you can utilize. And for your qualitative research, you can use Dovetail or Otter.ai. For all my meetings, I use Otter.ai, and it helps me in a lot of ways in terms of capturing all the required information what I require. By the way, I just want to mention here as a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored, and these are all the outcomes of my research and what I wanted to share. But yeah, no one is yet sponsoring me. But if you can give me a like and a subscribe, that will be helpful, where I can get to that stage where I can bring you more information about certain products. As I mentioned, I wanted to talk about, take an example and explain to you the 5 phases and the 8 stages of designing your decision-making process using data. In today's example, I'm talking about a problem where an online fashion retailer wants to improve customer retention and reduce churn. Isn't this one of the biggest problems today e-commerce platforms have? Everybody wants to sell more and outsell the competition. So let's take this as an example and look at how our information should be designed and what should be a predicted outcome of each phase. Let's jump in. The first one is the data collection stage. Look the data sources. What are the sources you want to get the data from? If you look at the slide, I particularly picked up few data sources, which is your customer purchase history, your website interaction logs, your customer support system, social media feedback, email marketing engagement statistics, and satisfaction surveys. This is what I picked up as an input. And when you are doing AI powered processing, you're using web scraping algorithms to gather all the social media content, because people might be talking about your product on social media and tagging you, and in the left side you don't have you have all the information, all the tools what you need to capture, all the KPIs what you need to capture, and for this you need to plan your AI to go ahead and get the information. API integrations for data pulling and machine learning based aggregation tools. So what basically the whole process does is takes all the information from the left side, which is the data sources, and designs it in a way that you want to see the data. So you can design the reports and the outcomes of it, why certain people are spending some more time on a certain product page, and why people are adding to the cart but abandoning it at the end. Lot of things you can capture from this data collection stage. The next one is the data processing stage, where you have to clean your data. Now that you started capturing data from various sources, everything is with you. You will have a lot of unwanted data too. For this, you need to clean your data, ensure there are no blanks where blanks should not be there, and emails are not missing the last digit, which is the .com, .org. Usually these things keep missing when we don't validate them when people are entering it, and once they enter it also there might be a spelling mistakes and the email might bounce. So all these things, the data cleaning has to be taken care from the cleaning perspective and the data which is captured perspective. And when you are using AI to process your data, ensure that they identify some explicit patterns or patterns which are not regular. Somebody goes to a product page website directly but does not come to your home page, or somebody might jump into something else and come to your website through some other source, but again close it up immediately. Understand from which source the person is coming and why they're closing your window. Why is it not meaningful in that search result? All these things will be taken care. And what will be the suggested outcomes of this phase are you combine your purchase history with customer support interactions, create a customer health score, so that based on various information what you get, who are your potential customers, how are they purchasing, why are they purchasing, reach out to them, ask them, and capture that data, and also normalize the data across all the information what you're collecting. So in summary, when you're doing your data processing, you're cleaning up the data, you're ensuring that the data sits across in a stabilized way, and as probable outcomes, you're defining customer health scores within your purview, and see which is going best and which is going worst, and how do you want to correct them. The next one is data analysis. When you look at data analysis, you look at advanced analytical techniques like predictive churn modeling or customer segmentation analytics and lifetime value proposition and purchase pattern recognition. These are the things what you're looking at, the trending or as a trends or analysis. And when you're doing AI powered modeling, you use machine learning algorithms to predict customer likelihood churn, identify key factors influencing retention. So as I mentioned in the previous one, why is a certain customer coming back and repeatedly buying? So that means there is something in your tool or in your product which is working very, very well. And you might want to focus on that so that you have more people like that. Create personalized customer profiles. Somebody might be buying very regularly, it's a subscription, and the person is buying regularly. You want to have them separate and you want to treat them with respect and everything. You want to give out the first offers to them, so you want to treat them as VIP customers. So create separate customer profiles who are very interested in coming to you all the time, and one set of profiles for people who always come to your website but don't end up buying and just close the window up and go. So you try to keep these both separate but address them with their individual needs. What you get out of that is basically you are identifying the high risk customers, what influence your customer to come back and buy the products what you're offering, and what are the potential intervention points which you can use to either make a sale or try to get a feedback or anything of that sort. Now, when you get into insight generation, what happens in this phase is basically you are using internal external data to convert statistical findings to actionable recommendations. This is where the earlier phase was morely you're using all the internal data, but here you start using the even external data, bringing all them together and make that data work for you. You create dashboards for specific things what you want to require. As an example, let's say in which state is having high sales, which state is having low sales, in which state you know people have the money but not buying your product, but in which state people have money, do not have money but still trying to push themselves and trying to buy your product. So that's where you need to segregate your advertisement spend or the marketing spend to attract more clients. So this gives you insights into all these aspects in terms of having more control of how you're selling, where you're selling, and what you're selling. Again, this entire phase, the insight generation, is all about your predictions and how it works. What are the suggested outcomes out of this phase should be our customers who contact support more than 60% are likely to churn. Personalized email campaigns can increase sales by 25% more, or offering free shipping orders of 50% reduces abandonment in the cart, right? These are the things what you can probably think about. This is the probable outcomes what we are talking about out of this phase. So this phase will help you do all these things to ensure that you are increasing on your sales. Decision making. What kind of decisions are you making? What are the scenarios you're stimulating? What are the risk assessments are you doing? What intervention strategy you are developing? These things will come in the decision making process. As a product manager with all the data available, this is the place where you make the appropriate decision. So when you report back to your organization, report back to your board, what made you make this decision? This is what made me decision. So this will help you create those kind of reports, create that kinds of insights, which will support your decision of why you should do something in a particular fashion. So that's what comes out of this phase. And this is very important for any product manager, be it an online product, offline product, physical product, any decision you make should enhance the quality of your product or enhance the sales of your product. And the way you make your decisions through all the phases will help you. From a data standpoint, it will give you the supporting information to make the decision the way you want to make the decision. When you're implementing these methods or these tools into your organization, what are the deployment strategies? You can't deploy everything overnight. You have to go step by step. So craft out a deployment strategy where you say, okay, I will deploy why I have a lot of low-hanging fruit, or people are coming to my website and just going away. Why are they not spending more time on my website to research about a product or something more information, or ask me they want more information? So you do that, define the phases, implement it, see how it's working, and then go to the next step. Don't try to implement everything together at one go. The reason being, when things don't work, for you to spend time to identify where it is not working will be more costly than doing it phase by phase. So that gives you more control. Okay, this is working, fantastic. I'll go to the next phase and implement this. Okay, this is working, I will go to the next phase. So overall, if there are any lags or any disturbances in the aspects what you're rolling out, you will have more control of it. What KPIs to track during the entire phase? Your customer retention rate, your churn rate, customer lifetime value, net promoter score, customer satisfaction score, and repeat purchase rate. These are the few high level KPIs which you can keep track as a product manager to ensure that you're meeting the goal of what you started with. Technology and tools and platforms. I mean, these are a couple of things you can use. I talked about it in the third slide, and I'm just wanting to repeat where you can use a little bit more tools in terms of how you can incorporate AI into your data-driven decision-making system. So, last but not the least, ethics. Please ensure whichever data you're collecting, you have consent from the individual users. That's why on every website we have consent form. It becomes lot more easier. But some people also, now we have three options: accept all, reject all, or see what is required, or share what is required. So ensure that all data you are capturing, all the booleans you're capturing, because not everybody, predominantly everybody hits accept all or reject all, but there are few people who might want to see what data is being captured and only allow to share what they want, and others they don't want to share. So you want to ensure that you capture this information so that it helps you in time of need. What are the challenges what you can see as a product manager when you are wanting to design your entire system? Is first thing is the complexity of data. Today data is everywhere, and capturing the right kind of information will be overwhelming. So your specialty lies in how you manage this complex data. What is the quality of the data what you're capturing? You don't want to capture junk. You want to maintain customer privacy, because it becomes very difficult once you are out in the open and people start saying that you are stealing the data or whatever it is. It becomes very difficult because there is a lot of competition, and the moment you start falling down, people will beat you over. So ensure that is taken care, and you have to ensure there is a human touch involved at the end of the day, and not everything is automated, to ensure that you get. I'll give you a live example. I'm dealing with a website which helps me do AI short videos, and I was testing a couple of sites, and this site was affordable, so I subscribed, but they are arguing with me that the template of my video is not what they recommend. But if I do the same thing on the other side, it's working. So either they are not collecting the data properly, or they're not wanting to see the data properly. Anyway, what I'm leaving with is in terms of how you capture the data, how you utilize the data. Today's world is everything about how quickly can you churn the information, how quickly you can enhance the value of the product. I'm mentioning this again, what I mentioned earlier. There are new ideas, there are new products. We are all recreating or enhancing the existing solutions what we have. So when you are doing that, remember there is somebody who's wanting to advance against you. The faster you understand that, the faster you can build around that, the more success you will feel. So with that recommendations, I close the session on how you can use data to drive your decision making. This is what predominantly I do in terms of coaching product teams and startups, scale-ups, organizations in terms of product management, and I also do the fraction CTO work for these things. If you're interested in any of my services, don't forget to set up some time with me. The link is below, and please don't forget to subscribe to my content and also comment if you have any questions so that I can take it forward. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.